These are our thoughts for sports. Think it's kind of clever. Anyways, we're gonna be talking about hot takes that are going on around the entire world for sports. And we're gonna start with the hottest of the hot right now, and that's the Cleveland Indians. The Indians have won 21 straight, as just about everybody should know. Today is 9/13/17, the day that they broke the record, tying the Cubs' old record and making them 5 games short of the Giants' 1916 record. Your thoughts on the record-breaking team?
It's good for baseball. We needed it. We needed to have a hot team going into this year. The Cubs were last year. The Indians were also last year. But this year is for the Cubs, or for the Indians. Just what they're doing right now for the game of baseball, it's incredible. 21 straight games.
I agree. I was alive during the, as you were, during the Athletics run back in 2002, but I wasn't a baseball fan. I was 6 years old. So to be able to be alive and witness it firsthand and see this, I think it's huge as for the sport in general, because people are always saying it's boring and nothing exciting happens, but this is huge.
It really is. Next year, I don't think there will be a team to top the Indians right now once we go in the playoffs, but we're not. We got a couple of games left before we even hit that. So, and then let's just bring up some of those stats the Indians are on right now. 41 home runs in 21 games that they won. They have 6 shutouts. They have the hottest starting pitching right now. Corey Kluber is becoming one of the best. Carlos Carrasco, he's following in Corey Kluber's steps. They've only trailed 5 innings out of the 189 possible.
I seen something yesterday.
Since I've been a baseball fan.
Seen something yesterday that said that they've outscored their opponents 103 runs or something in this run.
Yeah, and with the win today against the Tigers, they have 104 run differential. They've outscored their opponents 139-35, and that includes the 2 shutouts against the Tigers the last 2 days, and then the 5-3 win today. That's incredible.
That's insane.
No,
this is impressive, like 16-0 Patriots.
Exactly.
Speaking of other great teams that have just wowed us over the last few years in particular, what, in your opinion, what's more impressive? This Cleveland Indians record going 21 straight, or the Golden State Warriors in the regular season going 73-9 2 years ago?
My personal opinion, we are also talking about 2 different sports here.
Yeah.
But 21 in a row. I mean, the Warriors won how much in a row during that 73-9 win streak, though? But, I mean, I think baseball is a more harder game than basketball. Like, fundamentally, physically, that's about 50-50. I mean, I don't think in our modern era in the next 10 years a team's going to win 21 straight when you know next year the Warriors can go 74-8.
Yeah, I like that.
You know what I mean?
I really like that. And I have to agree with you. I think the Indians are more impressive because not only were the Warriors blowing everybody out like the Indians are, but the Indians are just doing it so consistently, and everybody they play against, it doesn't matter.
It can be anybody. The Astros, they're on fire. And like I said, the Indians have who? Corey Kluber, Carlos Carrasco, Encarnacion, Lindor, and then you go on to a basketball team where there's only 5 players and they're dominating, going 73-9. But but next year they could possibly go like an 8. When next year the Indians
80-2
can go exactly. They can drop from going win 21 in a row to losing 21 in a row, just like the Dodgers, how they won 15 in a row or whatever, and then they just got out over what, a 12-game losing streak.
Yeah,
See,
and barely at that.
Baseball's just a harder game, so I would have to go with 21 in a row. I don't think that's going to be done for the next 5, maybe 10 years again. I don't think any team has the mentality to go 21 wins in a row again. There's so much fundamentals in winning even 3 in a row in baseball.
I like that a lot. I do agree wholeheartedly. Oh, I didn't get that. But this isn't discounting anything from that 73-9 record. Just
no, not at all. 73-9. If they would have went 74-8, it would have been just incredible as 73-9. That's incredible to go 73 wins and only losing 9.
I do like how you pointed out
crazy.
that it's almost expected out of the Warriors, you know? Like, they come in and we're expecting them to win 65 or more games. But the Indians, because any baseball team, you never know what to expect.
Exactly. Like the Dodgers?
Yeah,
do we
case in
expect
point.
them to go like this? No. The Indians? No. Warriors? Cleveland? Yeah. Definitely got to go with 21 wins in a row.
I'm gonna wholeheartedly agree with you on it. Alright, here's a game that I like to play in my free time, just talking to people. It's trend up and trend down. We're gonna talk about a few NFL teams that after week 1, maybe they were overrated or underrated. We're gonna talk about whether we think they're gonna trend up or trend down from where they were a week ago, or even where they are today for the rest of the year. Starting with the Arizona Cardinals, obviously losing David Johnson and getting it handed to them in Detroit. What do you think the Arizona Cardinals are doing? Trending up or down?
I think they're going down. I'm a big Detroit fan, so I'm not going to be biased here. But with Carson Palmer being how old he is, with being drafted in the first round in 2003, he's going downhill. He's not going to be another Tom Brady. He's not going to be another Brett Favre. He's not going to last much longer in this league. Now, saying that, with them also losing their star running back, and with Larry Fitzgerald being how old he is, and being only, in my opinion, a third down wide receiver.
Basically a tight end in the slot.
Exactly, a tight end in the slot. I think Carson Palmer's done.
I agree. The Cardinals are trending down and they're going there fast. I expect the Cardinals to maybe win 3 games this year following that opening weekend. They're going to win this weekend, but then after that, it's going to be rough because, like you said, the quarterback play is going to be rough. Palmer obviously blatantly fell off the cliff. It's over.
Against a Detroit team that we thought the defense was going to struggle.
So many question marks on defense.
There were so many. How is Slay going to return after getting his little contract? How's the middle linebacker Jared Davis going to be, because he's a rookie? And just so many questions on that defense. And they proved me wrong.
And Arizona too.
And Arizona, then that's why I think Carson Palmer doesn't have much left in this league. And if he does in this league, it's going to be as a backup quarterback.
I think even that could diminish what he's done. He might be a Hall of Famer if he stops. But if he keeps going, he might tarnish that.
If he keeps going like this, like I said, he's on pace to throw almost even though it's game one, he's on pace to throw 3 interceptions a game after what Detroit did. I don't think this year in my eyes, will 1 to 2 years left. And if this might be his last year as a Cardinals quarterback, in my opinion.
So, assuming the Cardinals go 2-14, 3-13, they get the first or second round of the round draft pick. Do you think they move on and draft one of the top? Actually, I think this is a 5 quarterback deep draft, including Lamar Jackson and Baker Mayfield.
Easy. I think the Cardinals will surprise us and go with quarterback, and it's not going to be Lamar Jackson. They're going to stick with the Carson Palmer kind of guy and go Baker Mayfield. In my eyes, when I seen Baker Mayfield play against Ohio State, he looked just like Carson Palmer when he was in college.
At USC, yeah, I see that a lot.
So much emotion. He wanted to win. He didn't care about that incident he had with the police. He was there to strictly play the game of college football and get his team that W. Just like Carson Palmer would have in his college days.
How about Jacksonville? Moving on from Arizona, how about Jacksonville? How about them Jaguars?
That week 1 was a fluke. I don't think if the Texans run our list, they'll be going down too. Just like I think Jacksonville is. I don't think Blake Bortles is ready for NFL talent yet. He will be next. You do?
I don't think ever.
I don't see it in him just quite yet. I mean, you got to be kidding me. The Texans get 7 players on defense and offense combined with concussions, and J.J. Watt, with all his hype, imagine this, leads with an injury. Jacksonville's week 1 was a fluke.
Did you hear what happened to JJ?
No, all I know is he hurt his hand.
His finger broke out of his skin.
Awesome.
And then he taped it up and came back. Like, if I jam my finger, I'm crying and I'm done for the night.
Exactly.
JJ's a tough guy. No, discounting him, the Texans are bad too.
And then Brian Cushing as well. He's hurt again. I don't think that guy's played more than 5 games a year.
Basically, we watched the Jaguars beat up on a beat up Houston team, and there's nothing to be impressed about there, except for maybe their defense.
And the only thing that by Jacksonville.
Absolutely. 4 sacks.
Yes, and their team had 10. Jacksonville defense, watch
11.
out.
11.
Their offense, I'm not too sure about. The only thing I see happen with the Texans as well is their rookie quarterback, but I'll get to with him later.
I like that. I agree again. I didn't know we were going to have so much in common with all of our thoughts, but I agree again. Jacksonville's going down, and I think they're going down as fast, maybe not as fast as Arizona, but they're on their way down as well. How about those Pats? How about those Patriots?
2 words. Tom Brady. He's going to do what he does. They're going up. Week 1, he had a rough start to his 40 years young there, but I don't see them losing the AFC in any possible way, shape, or form with the Bills and the Jets. I don't see it. Tom Brady.
I also said the Patriots are going up. I think it's possible that Amendola is not playing this weekend, which sucks. Edelman's obviously out for the season. Danny Amendola, he got a concussion last weekend. He's probably not going to play this week.
Yeah. That wide receiver core, if they could stay healthy, watch out.
I expect to see Philip Dorsett break out.
I see Dorsett breaking out as well.
I think Tom Brady makes people around him better. Yeah, their running game was probably my favorite part to watch.
It's going to be a running game. In my fantasy team, I drafted James White.
Ooh, that's rough. He's probably not even going to be their first guy.
He probably won't be, but he's when he touches the ball, he's gonna get them some yards.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think New England's going up.
I agree. Patriots going up. Still probably the favorite to win the AFC and possibly the Super Bowl. How about those Lions? We love those Lions. We breathe for those Lions. Are they going up or down?
Every week. Yep. I have them going up. Money Man Matt. He'll get his money's worth. He'll make this team a playoff team again like last year, but now with the 9-7 record. It'll definitely be with, I'm going +2 wins on that, 9-7, so 11-5. Golden Tate, he did hurt his finger in week 1, but I see him going for week 2 Monday night.
I think Stafford broke his finger. He threw that ball hard.
He was in a stint after the game, so it's quite possible. But I see the line. I see Matthew Stafford carrying this team. I see Golden Tate carrying this team.
Marvin Jones will have better weeks without Patrick Peterson covering him.
Right. I see the running game still being the 20th or to the 25th ranked in the league. I wasn't impressed with Amir Abdullah in game 1. But that was against a good Arizona defense. The defense this year, I think in all 32 teams, is going to be pretty legit. So I don't see the Lions running game working at all, especially against the Packers. But we'll get to them some other time. I don't see our running game going anywhere at all this year. That defense is going to be legit though. Where that defense, I believe, will be top 10. Easy.
I think the Lions are trending up. I think they're going to be good this year, like you said, a playoff team. But I think they're only going up so far. I do think there's a ceiling to this Detroit team.
And I think that ceiling is the running game for me.
Yeah. Carson Palmer overthrew a lot of receivers, and we saw that, and the Lions took advantage of that.
Exactly.
But contenders take advantage. That's the difference between contenders and pretenders. We'll talk about that more later. But is teams that can take advantage of the turnovers and the mistakes that the other team's making. So the fact that we did that was huge. But the Lions are not going to be world beaters, but they are trending up. Right now they're 10th in the power rankings. I think they'll finish the season around 5, maybe 6. It's going to be a good year for the Lions, but not quite there yet.
I would agree.
And finally, we're going to finish with the Seattle Seahawks.
I had mixed feelings about this one. I didn't want to put up. I didn't want to put down. With as big as a football fan I am, I can probably only name 2 wide receivers that they have now, that they traded Jermaine Kearse to the Jets. Obviously Doug Baldwin, we'll get him somewhere. And P. Rich, I can only name P. Rich and Doug Baldwin. I think Jimmy Graham, after week 1, the Packers got to him. The Packers definitely got in his head. It's only week 1 though for them, so I can't say up or down. It's Russell Wilson though. They played against a hard team in week 1 against the Patriots. With it being week 1 for the Seattle team, it's definitely hard for me to say up or down because they had a pretty rough bout against Aaron Rodgers and that defense.
I say down, but not just down. I say way down for the Seahawks. They showed me something that I was afraid to see this year, and I was optimistic because Pete Carroll's a genius and Russell Wilson's a freak, and their defense is just getting better and better and better. Adding Sheldon Richardson, but defense only does so much in today's NFL. We're in the world of 50-point games, 50 to 50 games. So realistically, the Seahawks can't win without scoring the ball, and they can't score the ball if they can't block. The Seahawks probably have a bottom 3 offensive line in the whole league, including this, including
I said,
the Colts.
I can only name 2 wide receivers I have.
3, including Jimmy Graham.
Yeah, 3 including Jimmy Graham. Like I said, that
Yeah.
offense is in for a rough awakening.
I say the Seahawks are going to go about 7-9, maybe 8-8, opening up the division for. I love this because I absolutely love the kid, Jared Goff and the Rams. I think Jared Goff and the Rams are going to take that division this year, and Seahawks are just trending down.
I agree.
Russell Wilson, A, stays healthy, and B, slides more when he needs to. I love this guy. I love Big Ten quarterbacks. And I think Russell Wilson's a big deal to football, and if he gets hurt, it's going to hurt the smaller quarterback stock even more than it already has.
I agree.
Alrighty. I like that. I like that segment. That was pretty nice. Moving on to contenders and pretenders. I brought that up. Contenders and pretenders. Let me slow down. Gonna talk about teams that, and some of them we've already talked about. Teams that we think have a chance to contend. These teams start out 1-0. Teams that have a chance to contend for the Super Bowl or at least to win their division. And then we're going to talk about teams that don't really stand a chance and they were just pretty much pretending and fooling everybody in week 1. Starting with our personal favorite team in the world, the Green Bay Packers.
It's Aaron Rodgers. Green Bay is, I got them as contenders. After what they did, it was, even though it was week 1, every team had their weaknesses, but in that third and fourth quarter against Seattle's defense, Aaron Rodgers, Ty Montgomery, Nelson, and Cobb all showed me that this team is ready to win again in Green Bay.
I got contenders. Well, I think the Packers are going to be the top seed coming out of the NFC, above the Cowboys, above the Giants, above the Lions. Yes, above the Seahawks, as people already know how I feel about them. I think the Packers are not only contenders, but they're the real deal, and they're terrifying because Aaron Rodgers is not only the best quarterback in the league right now, but probably the best talent in the history of the league.
Yes.
Absolutely contenders for the Packers. How about the Buffalo Bills? We saw them beat the Jets this weekend. Entertaining game.
I have Buffalo as pretenders. Tyrod Taylor is not ready to lead an NFL team, just like he's been for the last 2 years with Buffalo. I can't believe that Buffalo gave him the contract extension that they did. This team needs to find a quarterback and needs to find one now.
Buffalo's terrible. Let me just start out by saying that.
Yeah.
They struggled with the Jets, and top to bottom, maybe minus the Colts, the Jets are the worst roster in the NFL. So that game shouldn't have been even remotely close, and it was, and that worries me for the Bills. I like Tyrod Taylor. On the other hand, I think Tyrod Taylor on a better team is a great guy, great quarterback. They took away all his weapons this year, other than LeSean McCoy. I think it's unfortunate what they're doing to his career. They're Cleveland Browning him.
They even took his defense away.
Yeah. I really like Tyrod Taylor. I hope this isn't his last stop. Oh boy. You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Alright. Yeah, the Bills are pretenders, and they're blatant pretenders at that. How about back to a team we've already talked about, the Lions. Are they contenders or are they pretenders?
I have them as contenders. Like I said earlier, Matthew Stafford is ready to lead this team to a playoff, and hopefully a playoff win. I don't see this team losing. Well, I see them losing the division. I don't see them losing in the wild card game. I really like where this team is headed. with Matthew Stafford for the next 5 years?
Colin Cowherd said that there's things you overpay on, there's things you don't overpay on. You overpay on toilet paper, you don't overpay on paper towels. You overpay on your car, you don't overpay on, say, a bicycle because it's going to get you to the same place no matter what. You overpay on your quarterback, even if he may not be worth it, which I think Matthew Stafford's 100% worth it. But if he's not, you overpay anyways, because look around the league and look at the teams that don't have quarterbacks and look at the situation they're in. Matthew Stafford's worth every penny. That being said, as much as I love these guys, the Lions are not contenders this year. I think they'll get to the first round of the playoffs, the wild card. Maybe the divisional round, which would be amazing for Lions fans. Be awesome to see. But they're not a top 3 team in the NFC, and that's going to show when they play against certain teams this year. And unfortunately, the Lions are pretenders.
And I had the luxury to watch that episode with Colin Cowherd. That right there told me that if we kept Calvin and his contract ended whenever, what was it, for the next 7 years or whatever, did we overpay him?
Probably.
Would he have been the production we wanted him for that 8 years? And when it was all said and done, if he didn't retire, would us Lions fans be like, Calvin Johnson's not that money, worth that money? Hint, hint, Justin Verlander. Was Justin Verlander really worth that contract just to trade him away?
Yeah, I think it was more loyalty from the Detroit family, from all of Detroit. It was more loyalty for us to sign them. And I can't agree 150% more. Bam, right there. And unfortunately in sports, oh crap, loyalty doesn't get you championships. That's Carmelo Anthony.
Damn. Love that statement right there. Perfect.
Okay. So yeah, Detroit's are pretenders in my mind. How about the Kansas City Chiefs? After what they did to the Patriots, they gotta be contenders, right?
No. I have them as pretenders. I see Denver, which they're our next topic after KC. I see Denver winning the division. I think Alex Smith is ready to get out of Kansas City after they drafted Patrick Mahomes out of Texas A&M.
I like that kid.
I think Andy Reid sees as much talent in Patrick Mahomes as he did in a young Donovan McNabb in Philadelphia.
I like that. Good arm talent.
I see Alex Smith finishing this year in Kansas City, and then I don't see Alex Smith on Kansas City. I actually was looking at this earlier. I can see Alex Smith going back to San Francisco and get San Francisco back on the track for the next 5 years, and then I see Alex Smith retiring. I don't see Alex Smith staying in Kansas City for another year. He's gonna do his best to get that team a championship this year, and if it doesn't work out, he's gone. Even if it works out, I don't see Alex Smith staying. Andy Reid likes that kid, that young quarterback, Patrick Mahomes.
So you think the Chiefs this year are pretenders? Zero chance at contending for anything?
Yes. They have, I think in my book, they have a minimum chance to be contenders. Alex Smith wants out. I don't see them. I see Alex Smith doing a 50-50 shot this year, getting benched by week 10, and then moving on.
I agree on most of what you said. I think the Chiefs are pretenders. I don't think they're going to win 10 games this year. They'd be lucky to win 9 as far as I'm concerned. don't think they'll be in the playoffs. I think their division is far too talented, and they just don't add up all the way. But they are super talented for the future, just not for right now.
Easy.
I like the Chiefs. Yeah, I like the Chiefs, and I like what they're building. But for right now, they're not ready.
I agree.
And moving on to our last topic, the Denver Broncos. Contenders or pretenders?
Contenders. I see, after week 1 against the Chargers, I see Trevor Siemian taking over Paxton Lynch's starting job. If Denver gets in any trouble this year with quarterbacks, I see them putting in Brock Osweiler, which, in my opinion, will be a good idea. He knows that offense. He did just fine when Peyton Manning got hurt.
Won a Super Bowl with that offense.
I think the Texans overused him. He got paid, and then he didn't care about anything else. He got his money. I think he's definitely a bench quarterback. Like 2 years, $10 million quarterback. No need for 4 years, $71 million. No need for that from basically a bench quarterback to take over Peyton Manning, do his duties, go back on the bench. There was no reason for him to leave. But I really like this Trevor Siemian kid out of Northwestern. Like you said, you like Big Ten quarterback.
I agree. Denver's contenders.
I like Trevor Siemian.
Denver's contenders. I think they're the real deal. They have the receivers that are the weapons. The defense is the best in the league, next to the Seahawks. They're 1 and 2. I just think that the Broncos have a better offensive line and just a better team all around than the Seahawks do. Be a cool Super Bowl to see again. But yeah, the Broncos are the real deal. I don't think Trevor Siemian's going to be starting past week 5. I think this is Brock Osweiler's team, and none of us know it yet. And
like I said, yeah, Brock Osweiler went back to Denver to do some damage.
Yeah, Osweiler will be the team, the quarterback of that team, probably the future. I say the next 10 years. I think the Broncos have their quarterback. Osweiler's their guy. All right, well, that's contenders and pretenders. I like that. I like how we disagree on some things. Yeah. How about this is a fun topic for me because I really like predicting things.
This is my favorite topic.
AFC and NFC Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Where do you want to start? AFC or NFC?
We're gonna start it. You start it. You go ahead and pick yours, and I'll let you know mine.
All right, I'm gonna start with NFC. I'm gonna stay in the NFC North. He absolutely torched the Saints defense on Monday night. I'm gonna go with the FSU guy, Dalvin Cook. He had 22 attempts with 127 yards with a 5.8 average. He keeps those numbers up. He's easily going to be over 1,000-yard rushing. I see Dalvin Cook taking AP's spot, getting him back in the rushing game. And me personally, I would love to have this guy on my Lions, but he's on the Minnesota Vikings. So I'm going with Dalvin Cook out of the NFC North.
I just made a field goal at the last second to win the game, so I'm pretty pumped. Okay. My NFC Rookie of the Year is going to be also in the NFC North. I'm gonna go with Kenny Golladay from the Lions. I think Galladay's being slept on, and I see all these top 10 countdowns and top 10 rookie performances, and he's being ignored as the Lions are ignored by ESPN all the time. I think Galladay's going to be a breakout receiver. Eventually, he'll be our number 2 receiver, probably moving Golden to the all-time slot position, which would be really good for Golden Tate.
I agree.
I think Galladay's going to have 10 receiving touchdowns and 800 yards this year, and that's that. How about the AFC? Which way are you going there?
Like I said earlier, when we were talking about Jacksonville and trend down or trend up, I'm going back to the quarterback that replaced one of the best names I've ever heard in the
Hold on, you said Jacksonville.
Tom Savage.
You mean Houston?
Yeah, like I said earlier, I was going back to when
When we were talking about Jacksonville, got it.
Yeah, I was talking about Houston, yeah. He replaced one of the best names in the NFL in Tom Savage. Out of Clemson, I'm going Deshaun Watson. He had 102 yards in the second half. We're playing only one half, and on his first drive, Houston was down 19-0 at halftime. And Deshaun Watson brought him down the field, first drive of the second half, and they got a touchdown. Deshaun Watson won't lead this team to a playoff game. I think he'll lead them to 6-win. Yeah, this year. I think he'll lead them to 6-10 record or 7-9 record, and that 7-9 record will win him Offensive Player of the Year for the Texans.
It's funny we're sticking at the same position this time. I don't agree with Deshaun Watson. I do agree with Deshaun though. Deshaun Kaiser for Cleveland. I think Kaiser's going to lead Cleveland to a very identical what you predicted for the Texans, 6-10, maybe 7-9 record, which is huge for the Browns. That means they got their guy. I think Deshaun's going to throw for 22 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. He's going to be in that range. He's going to run for 5 or 6 touchdowns. He's going to be the most exciting thing that's happened in Cleveland in a long time. Exactly.
His legs are incredible.
Exactly. Deshaun Kaiser, AFC Rookie of the Year. Bank on it. It's all but done. The kid surprised everybody and competed with the Steelers. I just hope it's working good. I did not choose to relocate my team. My owner relocated me. No. All right. Now this is a topic that you know a lot about because you just love you some baseball.
Yes, sir.
Who, in your opinion, has the most pressure to win the World Series? Is it the Dodgers, who started out the hottest team that we've ever seen start out, and they were just crushing everybody, and they were just no competition? Or the Indians, after winning 21 straight, and now all the pressure's on them, presumably, going into the playoffs?
Well, alright, here's my take on this one. In my opinion, it's gonna go all back on the Tribe. In my opinion, the Dodgers hurt themselves by losing 11 in a row, and the Tribe won 21 in a row. We can go back to when Seattle had one of the best starts in baseball. They won over 100 games. I think winning over 100 games is just about equal as winning 21 in a row. If this Tribe team does not go back to the World Series and win the World Series, unlike last year when they lost to the Cubs, the Tribe have some big gain. I mean, they gained my respect with me being a Tigers fan in the AL Central. This Tribe team, I'm rooting for this Tribe team this year. World Series champs, 2017, no holding back. They gotta win it this year. Next year's a new year. This year is this year. winning 21 in a row, you gotta get it. You gotta go out there and get it.
I think all the pressure in the world is on the Dodgers. They started out insane, the best team in baseball for a long time. Probably still on paper the best team right now. I think Clayton Kershaw is aging, and I think that Yasiel Puig, his prime hit early, so it's going to end early. I think the Dodgers as a whole, as a city, Los Angeles needs a championship. You know how Los Angeles is. If you don't win, you're going to hear it every week, every day. Cleveland, not used to winning. They're from Ohio, what do you expect? So I think they'll live if they don't get the win. But if the Dodgers don't win this World Series, it's going to be the closest thing that they could have to an apocalypse. It's going to be disastrous in Los Angeles if they don't win the World Series.
I can see where you're coming from. LA, they have everything now, to back to football teams, to soccer teams,
to Lonzo Ball,
exactly, to Brandon Ingram. If LA doesn't win again this year, it's gonna be like every other year. It's not gonna hurt them. They'll go back out, do their thing, lose in the playoffs, and it's just a repeating cycle. I think it's on the Indians this year. It was the Cubs from 108 years to this year to win a World Series, and they finally did it. If the Indians, who have been now the longest drought for a World Series, if they go 108 years without a World Series, this is Cleveland's year. I don't think Cleveland. I think next year it's the Twins' year. The Twins are hot right now, just like the Indians. If any team has any chance to stopping the Tribe, it's the Twins. I think it has to be the Indians.
All right, we have to agree to disagree on that one. If anybody watches this, I'd like to thank you, and share the video, like the video, comment, subscribe to my channel. We're going to do a lot of these, hopefully. I think this was a major success. Thank you for being my co-host, Brian.
Sir?
This was a B+ opinion, if you ask me. So, goodbye.